Hi guys, welcome. Just give me 1 minute while I share this post with a few groups. Bear with me. It's my first time using Facebook Live, so just bear with me for 1 second. Promise I'll be faster next time. All right. It'd be nice if I knew how to share it to multiple groups at once instead of, do you have to do it one at a time? Oop. Okay, we'll do those two groups for now, just to get it going. Okay, so I'm very excited for today. Today I'm going to talk about if you don't know me already, my name is Sarah Walker. I'm an intuitive copywriter and brand storyteller. So I help entrepreneurs find their divine brand story, and all of my copy is channeled from the divine. So today I wanted to talk about the one mindset shift that really let me start to manifest everything I wanted almost instantly. It let me blow up my business to the 6-figure mark and beyond, and it's really one little shift that I think a lot of people don't realize can make the world of a difference. So I was inspired to do this live broadcast today because I was talking to one of my friends, and she just started her life coaching business, and it was because of me, because I kind of pushed her to do it. I was trying to, she saw how well I was doing online, and she really wanted to kind of do the same thing and quit her 9-to-5. So I was talking to her, and she's been posting in groups for about 2 weeks now, right? So when I first gave her some instructions, I told her, just write some posts out, 1 day of the week, just write all your posts out and post every day of the week in 3 to 5 groups. And she's been doing that, but she said that she's not getting any leads. So I was like, okay, there's something wrong here. If you're doing this properly, you should be getting a ton of leads coming in. So the first thing I looked at was her messaging. And I realized right away that she was doing what most new entrepreneurs do, which is they copy everyone else, right? So she's doing 3 ways to connect with your clients, and just basic run-of-the-mill stuff. The things that you see in your newsfeed 5 times a day, right? So that was her first issue. And what I told her to do with that is to connect all of her stories, or connect all of her posts to her life stories, right? So I'm telling her, don't be all one thing. Tell your stories, tell the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? Talk about, if you've read some of my stuff, you know that I'm talking about crazy things like going to the sex club and how I'm an atheist in the church. I'm not actually an atheist, by the way. It was just a really good copy title. But stuff like that, right? I'm showing all sides of me, the spiritual, the crazy, the wild. That's what people want to hear. So that was the first thing I told her. The second thing I asked her was, are you visualizing? Are you doing your mindset work? And she said, yes, I'm spending 10 minutes a day. I'm visualizing what I want, this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, there's something wrong there. How are you feeling while you visualize? And the more I the more questions I asked her, the more I realized that she was feeling guilt around asking for money. And I realized that that's, I used to feel like that when I was visualizing. Asking for $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 in a month is a lot, right? Or it seems like a lot at the time. So I explained to her what I do and what I do in my visualization and what really changed for me. So what changed for me is connecting to God, realizing that I'm a part of God when when I'm visualizing, right? And I think that's the hardest part, because for a long time, like I said, I felt guilty asking God for money. I thought God was only there for the big stuff, like keep my family healthy and protect us and that kind of thing, right? I didn't connect money to God. I thought that was shallow. I thought that I was responsible for making all of my money, right? Which is ridiculous. So the big thing that shifted for me was when I sat down one day and I was like, okay, like, I'm marketing myself, I'm making money, but it's hard. It's like pulling teeth. So I prayed to God. I prayed to Jesus because I was raised Christian. And I just told him, I'm like, look, like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry if I'm not supposed to be asking for this, but I rely on you for everything. I need your help. At the time I wanted to make my first 10K a month, and I just couldn't do it. I was trying for 2 months to get there, and I just couldn't do it. And I said, I want to make $10,000 this month. If you give this to me, I will, I'll tell everyone about you and how you helped me do this. I'll tell everyone about you anyway, but at least I'll have proof, something to back up what I'm saying. And I am telling you, that month, so I prayed. I prayed to Jesus, to God. It was probably the 7th or the 8th of that month. It was already a weekend. By the end of that month, I made $10,000 on the dot. Like, on the dot. It was scary, crazy. Insane. So that's the biggest mind shift or mindset shift I think you need to make, is that you don't have to do it alone. It's okay to ask for money, right? So for me, it's Jesus, but maybe for you, it's Buddha or Muhammad or, whoever it may be. I find it's easier to put a face to it as well, because I used to pray to just God, right, or the universe. And I think the reason that it worked better talking to Jesus was because he's human, he understands the human experience. I feel like that was, in my head, that was the shift. For me, it's Jesus. For you, like I said, for you, it's maybe someone else. But I feel like that really helped with my mindset, right? So, that's kind of the biggest thing that you need to do with the mindset. And that's when my business blew up, like I said. I was making $10,000 every month from then on, as much as I was praying, as long as I was grateful. And my process for visualization, in case you were wondering, is I will sit there, I'll take some deep breaths, and I'll just connect to God. I'm sorry if you guys are commenting. I'm not seeing anything on here. But okay, so back to my process. So I just connect to God, and what I'll do is I'll imagine that I'm getting divine knowledge through the top of my head. So energy is coming through, and I let it out through my heart chakra. So I'm just letting love out to the world, to all of my clients, all of my future clients, everyone I know. I'm just making the world a better place that way. And then I surround for me, I'll choose a specific number. So, $20,000 a month is what I visualize right now. And I'm surrounding that with love, and I'm imagining it come to me, visualizing it come to me. And in exchange, I'm being of service to everyone, right? And I think that's the big thing where you can get rid of that guilt, is realizing how you help your clients, right? What is your divine message? Thank you, Rob. Yes, money is the motive, right? So what is your divine message, right? What can you give in exchange for this large amount of money? I don't know if it's, 1,000, if you want 1,000 this month, or 5,000, 10,000, 20, and beyond, right? Money is nothing. It's the difference between $1,000 and $20,000 or more. It's just a matter of changing your mindset. Honestly, it's just easy to make at this point. So I'm surrounding that number with love, and I'm imagining what I'm giving in return. And I think that also goes back to your messaging, right? Do you really know? Naomi says, love what you're sharing. I use myself and help others to do that for themselves. Absolutely, Naomi. It's we're changing the world, right? We are light workers, teaching people how to do this. And I think that's where true happiness comes from, is teaching others to do the same. No, thank you so much. I can't pronounce your name, I'm sorry. Nadiza. Yes, thank you guys, thank you. So, I think it goes back to knowing what your divine message is, right? How are you serving your clients, really? And who are you as a person? How does your story, all the parts of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly, how can your story, your story is what will pull people in. That's what makes people love you. That's what makes people feel connected to you. So if you need to incorporate that into your brand messaging, like all of it, just be an open book, right? And know what you're serving, what your clients' pain points are, yes, but what do they really want from you, right? What is the divine message that you are meant to give out to the world, right? That's really the core of what being successful is. If you know what you're giving to the world and all of that, success comes easy, right? So I guess the bigger question, or the question I get asked by a lot of my clients is, how do I find my divine message, right? How do I figure out what I need to give to the world and how to present it so that I'm attracting my soulmate clients, right? And so I have channeling abilities, and in case you missed the beginning, I'm an intuitive copywriter and brand storyteller, and I channel all of my copy. So those abilities, it took me a long time to develop them, but anyone can really do it, right? It's a skill like anything else. And to do that, you really need to learn how to listen, right? So what I mean by that is you need to ask God or the universe, Jesus, Buddha, whoever it is that you speak to, ask them, what is my divine message? What is the message you want me to give to the world, right? Now, at first, so usually it's the first message that comes to your mind, right? But you need to learn how to figure out what's your ego and what is actually a divine message. Because at first your brain is going to start saying, well, money, 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 right? Everyone wants money. You need to teach people how to make money. That's your message. And that's just your ego because you think you want money, right? That's not actually the angels or God talking to you, right? And it takes time to listen, but you'll learn to identify God's voice right away. The more you listen, if you do it every day, I don't know how long it would take you. For me, it took about a month of every day before I actually started to hear God speaking. And it's not I can't hear him like we would have a conversation, but it's just a whisper in your ear, right? Like a thought in your mind. But you'll learn what his voice sounds like very quickly. So you just ask him, what is my divine message? And the more you ask, the more you're talking to God or, whoever you want, the universe, whatever you want to call him, her, the more you talk to them, the clearer the message becomes, right? So that's what I suggest you do. Just keep asking, keep talking to them. Your divine message will come through. You can journal it, write it down as it comes through to you. I know a lot of people do that, or you can just meditate on it, which is what I like to do. I spend hours a day meditating for my clients and to find their message for them. Okay, so good luck with that. I know you can do it. You have it in you. You are a divine being. You are connected to God. He wants to talk to you. He or she wants to talk to you. And that's, I hope you enjoyed this. If you need help with your copy or your brand messaging, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to talk to you. Have a great day, guys.